It's Todd Butera with another New Ambassadors interview. I'm 2 cocktails in, so that should be exciting for everyone. I'm excited. So we're on to another with one of my favorite playwrights, ERIN MOUGHON. ERIN, say hi.
Hi, thanks, Todd. Oh, favorite playwright.
Yeah. Yes, and you've got the proper background. We couldn't do the proper background for me, so you're in my living room, which looks like a drawing room, because for all intents and purposes, I may as well be English.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine is not as interesting as yours, so you get the new ambassador.
Yeah, so here we are, another interview to help everyone learn who we are, learn a little bit more about the company, and why we're so important and so much damned fun. Because that's what's really important, is that we're fun. We're fun people. Fun, good times. All right. So let's talk about, so now, have you always been a playwright, or were you ever an actress?
I started as an actress. I've always been a writer. I wasn't always a playwright. I started my journey in theater acting, and then
Okay.
and then I one day was in a creative writing class, because I double majored in creative writing and theater in undergrad, and everyone was like, your short stories are terrible, but your dialogue is amazing, you should write plays. I was like, okay.
Wow.
And that's where it started. And so then I wrote my first play, and everyone was like, this is really good. And I was like, cool, maybe I should do this.
Thank God you ran with that and just didn't get discouraged and go, wow, you people suck and I suck. That's funny. Okay, that's an interesting thing. I'm not going to go off on a tangent, I promise. David's watching us. But what's fascinating about play, especially plays, more than movies or television, is that the dialogue is the most important. And I don't know if you know of course, you know John Steinbeck. He wrote, probably in the 40s, 50s, called Burning Bright. It was basically a play that could be read as a novel. I don't know if you know this, because what's missing from a play is the, all the stuff in between, describing how so-and-so felt or what was going on or the scenery, because it's left up to the actor. So that's what's fascinating, is because if you have great dialogue, that's a real plus, especially for plays, because all you have to do is you write the brilliant dialogue and you let the actors bring it to life, which is why the theater is such a collaborative process, I think.
Oh yeah, no, I completely agree. The whole reason I also shifted into writing plays instead of writing novels or poetry or short stories is I love that collaborative process. I love working with a director and seeing how they interpret it, and seeing how an actor takes a line, or honestly just using people who are smarter than I am and stealing their ideas and being like, oh cool, you said that line differently than I wrote it, but I like it better. Let me just change that right now. Look, I'm a genius. So I really love that collaborative process, and the ability of, I think Anne Bogart said it best when she said, directors take things in the spirit of stage directions, which really freed me up to write some really crazy stage directions. I'm like, cool, I'm gonna write as nutty stage directions as I can. And they'll go with it. And it's been really fun to work with directors who are like, yeah, I'm going with that.
That's great, because working on one of your pieces right now myself, which is lovely, because I got to read it, and hopefully we'll actually do it live. Your stage directions and the stuff you say, it's witty, it's actually fun, and I kind of appreciate that. I'm like, you know what, I know that no one else is going to see this but the actors, the director, and all that, but shit, yeah, why shouldn't we be a little entertained as well?
Yeah, exactly. And it gives stuff for the designers to jump off of as well when you are working with them. They're like, oh yeah, this Absolutely. I can run with. Oh, you said this. Okay, cool. And I can take that and make it this. And I love being more specific with people.
Yeah. And how long ago did that happen, when that bug bit you? When was that? Always?
Pretty much always. The theater bug first bit me when I was 6, and my mom took me to see The Sound of Music, and I was like,
Oh,
yes. And my hair is down because the Maria in that Sound of Music production had really long brown hair, and I was like, yes. And then I saw the movie version and was really confused by Julie Andrews with her little blonde pixie cut. I was like, Mom, what's going on? And then I understood the difference between theater and film in that moment as well. I was like, oh. But yeah, my mom is always, she's a huge Rodgers and Hammerstein fan. So she's always kind of inundated me with musicals and been really encouraging. And it's been really, yeah, my family has always been super encouraging. And like vacations, I'm like, we have to go see a play wherever we go. And they're like, okay, I guess. But now it's good because when they come to visit me, they're like, okay, what are we going to see? What have you bought tickets for? So I like plan their lives. Just
amazing. You know, it's interesting, not to go on a tangent, but with the Sound of Music, I think probably Julie Andrews always had short hair, but they did usually, the young postulates, they would cut their hair before they became a full-fledged nun.
It's also the movie, if I wasn't going to be a playwright, when I was 10, I was convinced I was going to be a nun. So,
wow.
But we weren't Catholic. So I was like, really, that's why I didn't become a nun, because I'm not Catholic. But I recently found out last year that there are Protestant nuns. And I was like, oh man, I missed it. Missed my one true calling.
Yeah, not really. You'd never be able to be as saucy as you are if you were a nun.
It's true. It's true. I would have so many Hail Marys to say.
Yeah, saucy's best.
Yeah, it's the funnest, and I don't think my husband would appreciate it as much if I was a nun.
All right, on to number 2.
Yes.
How did you first get involved with New Ambassadors?
David Adam Gill, I'm sure that's going to be the answer for a lot of people. He invited me to come to a lab, and I thought it was awesome. He's like, and you write, so you should write for a lab. And then I brought a piece in, and I was hooked from there. It was so fun. Not only did I get such good feedback and get to work with such amazing and talented actors, but I also got to see such amazing work and just be inspired by watching other people work and going, oh, this is so great. They are so smart. They are so talented. It was just really inspiring to be at the labs and being like, yes, ooh, yeah. And I always get excited by being around smart and talented people. I'm like, yes. And so then I kept coming back because I was like, yes, smart, talented people, they come here.
That was the way of the world, being inspired by smart, talented people. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah. Maybe not for now. Maybe post-pandemic when we can all be a little calmer.
Yeah. We can, New Ambassador and our politics. No, that'll be nice. Yeah. So moving on to number 3. I think you kind of answered it, but what has your experience been with New Ambassadors? It's been great, right? I mean, it's inspirational to you.
Yeah, it's been really, really great. I think the first time I was a little intimidated because I think my play went 3rd or 4th, and I was like, cool, I'm here, I'm a playwright, I feel good. And then I was like, wait, everybody's piece is brilliant, and who am I? And nobody's gonna like me. And then everyone was like, this is great, here's how you make it better. And I was like, yes. And so other than that, like 30 minutes of self-anxiety that I always put on myself, everything's been great.
That's cool. Well, just FYI, you should have never felt like that you weren't up to the task, because you totally are. Absolutely. More than, yeah. Really good stuff. I know, I've read his stuff. I've been in it. I've acted it. It's amazing.
Thank you, Todd.
Not at all. Number 4. What is your dream project, dream play, what's your dreams? Where do you want to go? Is like your dream, like, I want my stuff, to be like a big Broadway opening. I want to do film. What's your dream?
My dream is the big Broadway opening, maybe someday to write for television. But yeah, definitely the like name and lights with a production with all my friends. I loved the Tony Kushner approach to playwriting. Like he was a director first, and he's like, there's nothing I want to direct. So then he wrote Angels in America, and I'm like, cool, aspiration. I love a lot of plays, but I was like, cool, write my angels, or write my passion project, and then fight for all my friends to be in it. because that's Stephen Spinella, how he got to be in Angels was Tony Kushner insisted. And I was like, cool. So the goal is to have my name in lights on Broadway with all my friends in the cast and crew.
That's amazing. That's a great aspiration and a great dream to have. That's really neat. Number 5, one of my favorite questions. If you hadn't have been a playwright or involved in the arts, what would you have done? What would have been your career?
Ultimate dream job, writing the answers and questions for Jeopardy. Everybody in my family is like in the sciences and medicine, so maybe I would have gone somewhere like that. I do have a master's degree in math.
That's amazing. That's something I did not know about you. I hated math. Math was like my worst subject. I always thought I would have been maybe a doctor if I hadn't been an actor, but the math scared me. That's phenomenal that you've got an aptitude for mathematics.
Yeah, it's great until people find out, and then you go to the bar, and then they're like, "Here, you figure out how to split the check." And I'm like, "I'm 4 cocktails deep, people. This is not the time to ask me to do math." But yeah,
that's great because you become mother.
People who
they're like, "Mother will do the bill."
Yeah, I'm like, "No, mother's drunk. Leave her alone." But I also firmly believe that people who don't take math weren't taught it well, and that I feel like everybody's good at math. I feel like everybody's an actor. Everybody can be a playwright. I have a lot of and I try to impart that to my students, which is fun because I still tutor math even though I teach theater. So it's like, oh yeah, I remember how to do that. Hold on a second, completing the square. What's completing the square again? Awesome, quadratic formula. I remember that. So fun times, but yeah.
Wow, I think that's great.
I think I would definitely be a writer.
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
that's great.
I believe it, yeah.
On to number 6. What has been your, and this might be a tough one to answer, but what has been your favorite experience with new ambassadors so far?
This was the question that was the hardest for me. I'm not going to lie, because there have just been so many really good experiences. I will have to say, so I went with the most recent as opposed to like digging deep. And when we did Heartbroke, our last in-person production, that wasn't a lab, I really loved sitting in the audience and hearing people audibly, because there was a twist in the play, and hearing people audibly gasp and be like, oh, no, what? No, and just like, just getting to see that and be a part of that with the company, with everybody, and just be like, yes, this energy, this audience, and with all the plays. I mean, sitting in the audience for all the plays and feeling the audience responses, but particularly for mine, and just sitting there and going when the twist happened and having that people audibly gasp, audibly speak and respond. And I was just like, yes, that's what I wanted. Success. Yeah. And it was just great that new ambassadors let me do that and took a chance and did a thing. And then to sit and watch the Buttery Bargains afterward.
Yeah, no, it was brilliant, and I think that was what was fun about that last series of plays. They almost all had some sort of a twist, a sort of a moment, which I thought was really terrific.
Yeah, and I thought it was such a great variety of plays too. It was some like twist, like, oh no, actual heartbroke, or oh, this is touching and really sad, or oh, this is actually turning. We thought it was going to be sad, now it's happy. Everything had kind of a nice balance, and everything was super different. It was 9 pieces, and you wouldn't think with 9 pieces you would be able to find such variety, and yet ambassadors.
So what? Here's a good question. What's the first thing you're going to do once quarantine is over? What's the one thing that you've really missed?
I really miss hugging people and giving them baked goods. I'm such a hugger in life. Once it is safe to give people hugs, I'm going to go give so many hugs. and then you'll get a cookie. You'll get a hug and a cookie. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And then
That's
second
amazing.
after
I may
that is I
lick
want to go
people.
see a play. As soon as I may give you the cookie first, so your mouth will be occupied when we hug, so I don't get the lick.
Yeah.
But the second
I'm
thing
just
I want to
having
do
these
is I want to go see.
uncontrollable urges now. That's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
live would yeah. Yeah. I'm tired of Zooming. I want to feel living, breathing people. I agree with you.
Yeah, so that's going to be my second thing is going back to, is once it's safe to go back to theaters, I'm going to be there. My husband has been told, he knows. He's like, I'm like, you can come with or you can stay home, but that's where I'm going to be.
Oh,
So,
that's
we'll,
really terrific.
once that
All
happens,
sounds great. I'm really looking forward. I hope the play goes forward. I know we've done a couple of readings, and I'm really hoping it happens as a real production and soon. And I just wanted to thank you so much for taking time to be with us and to talk to us. And I cannot wait to hug and not lick you soon.
Yes, I cannot wait to hug and not be licked soon. Yay.
All right, ERIN, thank you so much, and have a great night.
Thanks, Todd. You too. Bye, everybody.
Bye.